Welcome back to Beyond Beats and Culture. I'm your host, the cultural commentator Tracy Darksage, here with my co-host.
T.
And we are back with another video of hip hop goodness because we are the number one platform to actually talk about the music. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and check the comment section so that way you can actually interact with us and interact with other comments as well. But you guys saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. We here to yap a little bit. B, everything is a classic. I want to say this right now. And also, we are ahead of the curve. We are the people that others aspire to be because we have already had these conversations a year or two ago. These conversations have been established. These rules have been established by the BBC. Go ahead, B.
So these conversations recycle. They come back around, B. And I wanted to add some new context, I guess, to the conversation, just to hip hop, period. When it comes to like this music thing, this hip hop thing we love, B. And I think that none of us have a defined, a strict definition of what a classic album is. And I think we need to let. I didn't tell you this off camera, B, but I think we gotta let it go. We got,
We gotta
I
let
think,
it go.
the classic album.
Mm.
I think it's time for us to just be like, you like what you like, my nigga, and I like what I like. That's fine. I think the universal classic is dead. It's gone because I feel like subgenres and hip hop has expanded so far. Like hip hop has grown. It's 50 plus years old now. That every album is not gonna have the same feel of that album in the 90s. What defines a 90s classic album is not the same what defines a classic album in 2026, in my opinion. I feel like the standards are different. Just s- oversaturation. People gonna like different things, guys. And I don't know. I just think the whole universal classic is gone. I think we should just stick to like you said, and I agree with you. Whole lot of red is a classic, right? Because in a way, it's not. It might be not a classic in hip hop standards of how they did it in the golden era, but I'm saying like when it comes to like put this album in the Smithsonian, whatever they call it, you know what I mean? Because it kind of defined an era and a new generation that grabbed so much influence from that album and spun a whole nother scene amongst us in hip hop. And I think that could be an album. I don't think that album was like this huge moment. Do you? I don't think it was like a moment, like a Carter 3, you know what I'm saying, or a Thug Motivation 101. Like those was moments. You heard it everywhere you went outside. But I feel like amongst the youth, they probably heard it like that for them, but not for like for us. You know what I'm saying? We are different in a different age bracket now. I
Mm.
just think that at this point, we just wasting our time going back and forth, and we're not expanding the conversation more because I feel like more people are trying to pull it back, B. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like I said this last year. Hip hop, the hip hop, like old heads and stuff, it's like make America great again. It's like, let's make hip hop great again. And I just don't like, I just don't like that because it's just like, bro, we have to move forward. We gotta be progressive. Like, yeah, some of this stuff sucks. We be honest about that. But at the same time, we have to champion the youth to beat them because hip hop was meant to break rules. It's counterculture. You don't grow up and be like, oh man, whatever my parents say, I gotta do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you listen, it's your parents. But at some time, bro, you're a knucklehead, you're young, you're gonna do things, you gotta bump your own head. And I feel like we have to allow younger artists to bump their head, B, to experiment, to try different things. Because I saw a comment that said it's nothing new under the sun that people in hip hop can't do. Like that's why it don't feel the same. And I was wondering, I'm like, I wonder if he's older, not like probably like around our age, because I feel like our generation feel like we seen it all because we went through the blog era and we in that middle ground of like seeing what we still could be connected to the underground and see what the kids doing now, and we look back as in our time and seeing back when we was younger and seeing what they did back in the old days. And what I'm trying to say with this conversation is just it's time to just we gotta progress, B. I feel like we having these old standards, B. That's like women can vote now, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm looking at it though. Like, B, women can vote. You know what I mean? And I'm
They have
like,
rights.
they have rights. And I'm like in hip hop, bro. Like we niggas be like, nah, we taking it back to the block. Like, no, bro. It things change, bro. It changes, man. And what you think about that, B? You don't have to agree with me, I know, but I'm just saying. How do you feel like the Universal album is just dead?
So we've
Universal
talked about this
classic
before.
album. Hmm.
We've talked about this before, and we've had spurts of it. We have a video on the channel already what defines a classic. If you guys want to go see that, go ahead, check that out. We have videos of us talking about classics, Southern hip hop classics, all these type of things. I fully agree with you. And I've said this before, even on that video or in the previous podcast episode. Ever since My Beautiful Dark Twist, I mean, not My Beautiful Dark Twist Fantasy, ever since 808s and Heartbreaks and Man on the Moon, that's when there's a pre hip hop before that, and there's a post hip hop after that. Once
Mm,
that happened, besides Good Kid, Mad City, there has been no universal hip hop classic,
mm,
technically speaking, because everything started to spread out too wide genre wise, in terms of like subgenre wise, in terms of like people being a lot more melodic, people, kind of focusing more on the vibes and the feelings rather than the lyricism itself. Things like that. That's where that era has spawned that. Even though we got some very what is it? Era defining projects from the
mm,
blog era past that. A lot of hip hop heads, really the older ones, because the ones around our era will all be like, oh, remember this project? Remember this project? Like, we'll all be, amongst each other with that, agreeing with each other. But older heads, they'll be like, man, he wasn't really rapping on that. What he doing all that singing for? Come on, man. What are we talking about? Why is he
facts.
talking about his feelings? Like, ever since the more emotionally aware music has came into hip hop. I hate to say it like this, and more vibe centered music came into hip hop. It's harder to define what is now a classic because, like I said, Whole Lot of Red is a classic. Look at the impact. Look at what has happened since that album. A lot of these little kids, I don't know their names, but god dang it, when I hear a song from them, I'm like, he got that from Whole Lot of Red. That stems from Whole Lot of Red. We have one of hip hop's biggest superstars as of right now, Yeet, who kind of stems from a similar sound of Whole Lot of Red. And look how huge he is in terms of hip hop mainstream wise. I'll talk about him later. But it's hard to define what a classic is, especially because, like we said before, too, this is like the whole there will never be another Michael Jackson.
Hmm.
Everybody isn't connected to the same thing. Everybody isn't listening to the same thing. That ever since the internet, everybody has their own branching paths, and sometimes you don't got to intersect.
The end of monoculture. Like it's gone.
Exactly, exactly. And so because of that, there can never be another modern hip hop classic.
Hmm.
Because if we talking about it shifted the culture, Whole Lot of Red did that, but a whole bunch of old heads will not consider that a classic.
Hmm.
Besides that, I know some people want to say GNX. I've been doing a little thinking about that one. I'm like, dang, if Dang is a class, if I consider that a classic, do I have to consider that over time GNX a classic too? I
Hmm.
get wary about that. But when we look at GNX, big moment for Kendrick. Did the sales and all that, especially with the rollout of with the beef and all that. But what did it impact in terms of like making new sound?
Hmm.
Not a new sound, but bring back that older or blog era esque West Coast sound. It didn't bring that back. So I don't know. It's just certain things where it's like we grade everything differently, especially for classic, because look at the impact that Illmatic had
Hmm.
versus maybe My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. No album could ever replicate or do what My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy did, but it definitely did have some impact though, just off of what it did for Kanye's career and things like that. But yeah, I'm yapping at this point. Go ahead, B.
But like what everything you were saying, I feel like it all could be true. And I think at this time, our relationship with music is totally different, even for the youth, B, because we move on to another album like this. You don't have to wait weeks to another hip hop album come out. You have like you have so many albums coming out a week, a day even. Like it's just so much music's coming out. So our relationship is not the same. As time goes, we have oversaturation of things and your relationship becomes different. It's like with media be Netflix, all these streaming services. You no longer have, oh yeah, I could go watch Netflix or I'm gonna go on Hulu. You used to have like two. Now you have Peacock, Disney Plus. You have all this stuff, bro, all across the board. And I feel like to just sit with an album, I don't know when this term was coined, but the instant classic, I don't know when that was coined. I don't. Do you remember in the early 2010s, or was we saying that? I don't remember saying that.
The only instant classic that people considered was Good Kid, Mad City. Last one I could think of, where everybody was like, "Oh, this is a classic." Like,
Yeah,
well, not everybody, but a lot of people were saying that. Some people was like, yo, that's too soon. We using that term classic a little too loosely now. That's when it really started. Once we started calling that an instant classic, people was like, whoa, you using that a little too loosely now. Because what does classic now mean? So
because look,
I think that was the last time that we actually gave an album that. Well, that plus people calling GNX an instant classic too.
but they also was called it a mixtape, and it wasn't living up to. Anyways, we'll talk about it. But anyway, but one thing I was thinking, is I don't know who I was watching, but they said Illmatic was an instant classic, and this was the old head, and I was like, a lot of the old heads relied on reviews. They get that source review because they have the album before it dropped. They'll see five mics. That's why I told you I revisit some of those five mic albums. Those albums was not five mics. Like classic albums, my thing, I feel like it should be way less classic albums than what we think we have.
I agree.
Because I think with a classic album, things really have to age a little. I think I need to age because I feel like classic songs last longer than that classic album. Like you make some classic songs that just that can just go, but if you make a classic album beat that you could play it at any point of any period, it's just like this is good music. I think that's really the supreme classic album. And I feel like if we actually use that word like and take time, 5 to 10 plus years, just to see how it is, that's when you really have a classic album. If we really want to do the really definition, the real definition of a classic album it wouldn't be a lot of classics. And I feel like at this point, we're being loose with the word. We're throwing the word out like crazy now.
So then,
It
should we now
waters it
use a
down.
newer term? So should we now use a newer term? We could coin it here on the BBC. Impactful album, because every album, quality wise, it might not be up there. It might not be a
Yeah.
masterpiece. It might not be a 10 out of 10, but it
But an
definitely
impact
shifted the culture.
but an impactful album would be, thriller level, you know, um, an album like a Illmatic, a Ready to Die, I'm gonna say modern, Good Kid Mad City, um, like very impactful to the culture, like move the culture. It wouldn't be many of those albums that was impactful because if you go back to the golden era of hip hop, it's a bunch of 90s New York or hip hop albums that you probably never heard that you haven't even looked at, but they're considered classic albums. But when you go back and look at it, I'm gonna really be honest. I don't know if some New Yorkers watching this and y'all gonna. The albums are really the albums are dope. They good, but it's pretty much the same type of thing. I, some of the flows, but to be honest, it's the same thing. It wasn't much diversity in it, to be honest with you. You had your Tribe Called Quest, you know what I'm saying? You had your De La Souls. But if you want to go into that 90s and you like, okay, yeah, RZA different production, Guru and them, they was, DJ Premier, different. But at the same time, it was that same core, that boom bap beat, that New York sound. It wasn't much diversity. And some people might disagree with me on that, but I listened to a lot of 90s hip hop. It's not much diversity when it comes to New York, in my opinion. I'm sorry, guys. I might not like that. But some of them albums are not classic. If you really want to talk about it, B, they not classics. They regional
You know
classics.
I'm quick to call something dusty, B. You know I'm quick to call something dusty. So don't bring me in this. Cause I'm quick to call a lot of things back then, especially New York hip hop dusty. Dusty.
It's like the dust off of it. Nah, for real. I was just thinking one day, I was like, man, I don't know if I should say this. But a lot of this stuff, bro, a lot of the stuff is like, it's a little overrated. And I can't believe I'm saying this. But I'm saying it in a way of like, if we really want to use that word correctly, bro, a lot of them albums would just be really dope albums. They wouldn't be classic. But I feel like a lot of it holds that nostalgia and just hip hop being in a new era that made those albums like that. It's kind of with the whole. It's kind of with. I could do the same thing with the blog era, B.
I was about to say the exact same thing because there's plenty of albums or mixtapes that we could talk to
You
our
go,
peers about. We're like, oh, that was a classic. Oh, that's a classic.
yeah, but you go back to it, you be like, it was just in that time. It was a good mixtape. Cause I for real only think it's maybe 8 to 10 of staples of the blog era of like mixtape classics. It's at least 10.
So do you think that every era should have a limit on how many classics they have? Like,
I
okay,
think
if it's the 90s, you can only have 10. 2000s, 10. Blog era, 10. You got to be strict down to that 10.
nah, because I feel like we got to rebuild and we got to destroy and rebuild at that point. I feel like I feel like at that point we can't do it. Um, but if we started some new, I'll be like, bro, I think we need to be a little more. I want to say more more lenient. No, less lenient. Less lenient with the classic word.
Okay.
Yeah, less lenient with the classic word. I don't think we should just be throwing that out like that. Cause this albums be that we saying like, bro, niggas are saying, you know what I mean? These certain albums are classes. I'm just like, nah, bro.
B, you gotta give me some albums, B. Don't be trying to do that. Oh yeah, they said some of these albums classic. I don't agree with that. It's some classic albums that they say classic. I don't agree with. Give me the album.
Hey, it's one of your. I ain't gonna lie, one of them yours, V. Nothing was the same, bro.
But B, we've talked about it before. We've had this conversation before because we're ahead of the curve. It's all right for us to call albums and artists' discography their magnum opus and not a classic. That's why I think Take Care, classic. The impact, what we got from that album, classic. No one can take that away. I hate these conversations that people are trying to say, does Drake even have a hip hop classic? Is this considered a hip hop classic or just a pop classic? All right, Glasses Malone Juniors, get it from out of here. We're talking hip hop right now. Yes, it's a hip hop goddamn classic. Now, if you want to start saying there's nothing was the same a classic, I understand if people don't consider it a classic. Me, I think it's Drake's magnum opus. I don't think he ain't getting better than that. But I'll say definitely it's an era defining classic.
I don't
Don't
know.
laugh at me like that, B.
I just don't see it. I don't know why.
It's a concentrated album.
I listened to that album countless of times and it just doesn't move me.
You know what's funny, B? We have the whole flip about this. You like that album? I hated that album. I despised it. Now we flipped. I'm like, yo, this is it right here.
No, remember, I knew you didn't like it, but you don't remember how I felt about it? I liked it more than you, but I was saying,
Yes.
my tagline was that album was nothing has changed.
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
yeah, like everything was the same or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I used to say. Cause I felt
But
like
B, he refined the sword. He refined it.
I don't know. That album just don't speak to me. But music is subjective. I had a point that I wanted to make. And you brought up Glasses Malone, and we still on this classic topic. Because I feel like this is a topic that's will always be in the hip hop, which I think we should kind of dead the conversation. But he said no rapper has more than 3 classics or something like that. And I started thinking, Kanye has
He
something
didn't
to
even
say.
I'm about to say, yeah. I'm about to say, come on, like people will consider Jay-Z in that conversation. So
Facts.
I can't agree with that.
Yeah, bro. Kanye has something to say. Even bro, late registration, college
Mm-hmm.
dropout,
Mm-hmm.
graduation,
Mm-hmm.
808's heartbreaks, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're here now. We're
Hey,
here.
hey, hey, my beautiful dark twisted fantasy. That's
Uh-huh.
hard.
We are so here. We are so
And
here.
some people say watch the throne. And that was a big moment. But I'm not in
Mhm.
classic. But I ain't gonna lie, them first 5 to 6 songs on Watch the Throne, bro. Superb. I'm telling
And the
you.
rest of the track list, superb. But
It's
keep
good.
going.
It's good. I did not like that album as much in the second half, but it grew on me. Pause.
Mhm.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I think that it's multiple artists with like more than 3 classics. I think Hove has more than 3 classics. I could give Kendrick, in my opinion, maybe 3 or 4. Cause I don't know. I'm iffy with Damn. Like sometimes I say it's a classic, but I'm iffy with Damn. Is Damn really a classic?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to retract my statement on if Dang is a classic because I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, if Dang is a classic, that means GNX is a classic. Therefore, if I'm using the same metrics, but I'm not considering GNX no classic. So
Yeah.
to me, Dang, era defining project. That's why I gotta say era defining project. And I hate to say that, but I gotta scale back that classic. But also that comes with nuance. That comes with time. That's the one thing that we are missing with a lot of these classic talks, and that's why things can't be an instant classic. Time. We need time.
Facts. And another thing about it, remember one big word we haven't mentioned in this B is replayability. And I feel like, well, I've been hearing people, I don't know who it was, but I heard a few people say that To Pimp a Butterfly doesn't have much replayability. Um, I say now in my older years, as I'm getting older, I do not replay that album as much as I used to. I played that album a good amount of times in like from 20 when it come out 2015, from 2015 to like maybe 2017, 2018. That album stayed in my rotation for at least 2 to 3 years. 2.5 to 3 years. It stayed in the rotation. And I feel like now I don't listen to it as much. For me, it has replayability because it has the history with me. But I don't know. I just think it's all subjective, bro. It's all, you know, it really is. Which I hate to do, but it is, B. Because everybody has their own thing. And one of the key moments I feel like we miss in these conversations, B, that we bring up, that I feel like the SoundCloud era hit us in the heart with, is how music is a feeling. How much how what certain things make you feel. Because when what they say, when music hit, when music hit, it has no pain. You feel no pain, B. Shout out to Dead Prez. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a feeling, B. It's a feeling.
And that's to me, that's the era that makes me want to say era defining album right there.
Mhm,
Because Lil Uzi Vert versus the World 2. Or was it? Yeah, Lil Uzi Vert versus the World 2.
mhm.
You probably wouldn't say it's a classic. And I know a lot of people probably would say it's a classic. But this is a project that defined that era from some of the songs that was on there, the run that Uzi was on. This is a project that if I had to make a top 10 hip hop projects from the SoundCloud slash 2010s era, post blog era, this is in that top 10 discussion right there. It
Mhm.
has to be because of the impact, because of the longevity that that album had, and some of the hits and some of the songs that it produced and the cult following that Uzi really had behind him, especially with a song like 20 More Minutes or 20 Minutes. That
Yalta
song
Deluxe.
memed exactly. That song is being memed to this day. Like people are like, oh man, when you hear this beat right here, this brings you back. I see kids talking about this beat.
My
Me,
son
I was
loves
like,
that song.
I was in my dorm room or my first apartment listening to that.
I remember I remember we was on the phone, me, you, and Ray. And I ain't know Ray then. And you was and we was
Yeah.
talking trash because I was cold on the album. I did not like the album at first, but then I came around, I like it more now. Especially with the deluxe came out. But that album, was a really good album. At first, I did not like it at all, and I feel like I agree with you. That is an era defining album. The kids, bro. Like right now, I'm gonna tell you how messed up, how the space we in right now with our algorithms and things are not the same. When did Uzi that song become like the number one hip hop album and like it's like a top 10 Billboard hit right now? What's called the Lil Uzi song? I want
Well, I
you
want
or
to
what was
rock.
it? I want to no his new song.
Oh, why you wanna? No, I
Yeah,
don't
why you
know.
wanna or something like that.
Oh,
That song is a
the one
top. That
that's like
song's
the
yeah, that's like a top. It's like a number one hip hop song. It's like a top 10 Billboard song right now, if I'm not mistaken. I was
it
like,
makes
huh?
sense because you could play it because the thing with
And it's
Uzi is
short.
that he's that plus he's making songs that are not super. I don't want to say not hip hop coded, but they're not blatantly just oh this is just hip hop. Like they kind of I don't want to say genre bending because it's not like Uzi's like really going crazy with the genre bending, but it's very hip hop pop center to where it's like you can play this in multiple settings and it not just have to be a dedicated hip hop song. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
it's
look at I
not.
Want to Rock. Like
Yeah.
it's hip hop, but it's not necessarily it's not traditional hip hop. It's not
Mhm.
contemporary hip hop. That's the best way I can say it. Like it has the hip hop elements in there, obviously, because he's a hip hop artist. But this can be played in many different scenarios that don't just need to be hip hop based. I
Yeah,
hope I'm explaining.
it's not serving us. It's serving a certain demographic, which is like everyone, like a bigger, like a different audience, but it's not in a way. It's not. Oh yeah, this is designated for the hip hop fans. This is
Mm-hmm.
like something that's here. It's kind of like EXO Tour Life. Even though EXO Tour Life is more hip hop focused, but the song was a big song. It was a number one song, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, how he was the EXO Tour Life is a better overall song than the song I'm talking about here. But what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is more people resonated with that song because I think the emotions, the vibes, the feeling of it. And I feel like with that song, is it? I wouldn't say genre. Is it genreless?
What is that? It to me, it's like hip hop but dance because people do dance challenges and stuff to it. So that's the best
Okay.
way I can put it. It's like it more in that dance like genre where it's like oh like or like it's ambiance music, ambiance
Mhm.
mood setting music. That's the best way I could put it. I just can't
Yeah.
define it with a specific genre.
Yeah. But yeah, the Universal Classic is there, guys. I think we should just whatever you like over there. You want to have it a classic over here. What you got over there is a classic over here. I had a back and forth with Top Five Troy a bit on Twitter the other day, and I just thought about it. This is not worth it. If he thinks it's a classic, why do it matter? Why is it bothering me? I don't care no more. I told myself I'm done with discourse on Twitter. I'm not going back and forth with people no more. And I think I'm over it. It was a
Mm.
that conversation did nothing with my life. like I'm not having these conversations no more about classics. I'm saying that now and then 2 weeks from now. Classic. That's not a classic. And that's the thing about hip hop, bro. This is it. This is it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know where we at now, B.
the classic is dead.
The classic is dead. But yeah, man. Well, did you want to go into hip hop artists that what do what do your impact in hip hop mean? Do a classic album has more weight than the classic verses, the classic songs, the cool albums? Or do the classic albums have more of an impact to hip hop? What you think, B? Breaking it
This is
down
a
to
hard
Common
conversation to
and
have.
Jada. I think they're the
So this is
perfect
a hard
example.
conversation. It is a perfect example, and to me, I'm very biased in this conversation, especially with Common, because to me I think he has one of the best discographies within hip hop in totality when you look at it. Um,
Scarface.
that's the thing. It's like I said one of, not the best. I
Yeah,
said
okay,
one of.
okay. You're right. You're right.
Scarface is in there
You
as well. Scarface is in there as well.
you're right. You're right.
With Jadakiss, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I'll be very hard pressed. I don't know. I just want to say it right here. I think Jadakiss is like a regional thing because I don't
Mhm.
hear anyone down here saying like, if you're from the South like that, I've never heard someone be like, "Oh, that new Jadakiss is fire." Like I had never heard that coming up. B like I thought
Yeah.
when I was growing up, I was like really the only person that really liked Jadakiss. Not saying like he had my favorite verses or anything like that, but I'm like I felt like I was the only one that really dug him because I'm like I've never heard no one talk about Jadakiss growing up. To me,
Yeah.
this feels like a regional thing. Like Common to me has bigger hits than Jadakiss. Common has 2 to 3 classic albums. Two, arguably two, a certified one, whether you do like Water for Chocolate or
B.
his B album. I was about to say Kanye's Go. Either one, to me, I'm just like Common to me has a better track record when it comes to contributions to hip hop. Not saying that Jadakiss has none, but to me, Common has a better track record for giving us dope radio songs, better longevity, and better quality projects. I'm sorry. I'm very biased to Common in this situation though. So I don't know. For me, Jada, he has some dope verses. He can rap. I liked his mixtape series during the blog era with The Champ Is Here 3. I remember that. The Consignment. I remember that. Come on, man. I was there for that. But to me, I'm just like Jadakiss is like, I don't this is unfair to judge for me. I'm not the
Oh
biggest
yeah, yeah.
Jadakiss fan though. That's why.
But the whole thing is I use them as like an example, but the whole thing is I feel like I in my opinion, I feel like Jada has contributed con, has contributed a lot to hip hop as well, as same as Common. But I'm think about Jada was with the Locks, the Bad
Yeah.
Boy Story, the verses
Yeah.
he have, B, the remixes he's been on. When you hear that signature, come on, man.
Been
That was
traveling.
all
Mhm.
bro, like I'm just saying, when me growing up, we like Jada. Jada was dope. We didn't care for like I didn't want jamming a new Jada album, but if I hear Jada pop up on a song, he featured on that joint, and you hear that, and he come
But
on there,
B, was you going to go seek that out though?
seek out the Jada feature. When it came to me getting on the when I had my own access to music, yeah, I started going back and looking at stuff. But when I was
Okay, yeah,
younger and I
that's
didn't
good.
have, yeah,
That's
when I
good.
was younger and I didn't have I had to whatever was on the radio, what was on Rap City, that's what I had to listen to, you know. So when we have these talks about these albums, do you think songs across the board impacts music more than albums? Because I also was thinking, I'm like, because a lot of people, especially in this time, are not album people. Like my wife is not an album person. She don't listen to albums. And I feel like it's a lot of people like her that's not, oh, I love this album. They like, I love these songs. And I feel like we're in a big playlist era. And I feel like what Jada contributed to hip hop is a lot of dope rhyming features, songs, then Common having full bodies of work that people enjoy. And I was just like, what impacts more on that career?
I think still Common has it because Common has a song like The Light. Like Jada Kiss don't have a song like that. That's just like huge like that.
Mm.
Like and to me, and I'm gonna have to relate this to R&B. B. Joe got 4 classic songs. He has a 4 single run on one of his albums. I believe it's like his first or second album. Bet you can't name the album though. The songs are going to be way more memorable than the album itself. But also, we're talking about back then with an era where you had to buy the album to listen to the music you wanted to listen to. Ever since the MP3 player got introduced, ever since YouTube got introduced, we can listen to whatever we want, whenever we want. That's what changed it, and that's what made us a lot less album people. To me, you get
Oh,
what I'm saying?
you talking about in the CD era or the LP like vinyl era? Because they had singles. They had the 45 singles. They'll just buy a single like
Well,
that.
I was talking about CD era because, like, my parents don't have no vinyl, but they had CDs growing up.
Yeah.
And that's when hip hop really was forming, was when CDs was
They
most prominent at that point. So because vinyl, when we think about that back then, you're most likely thinking about more classical or more older music back then.
well
Like
early
all that
well
stuff was
early
pressed because of
well
DJing.
80s vinyl.
Yeah.
80s was vinyl. DJing, was really big
Yeah.
in hip hop. So vinyl was big in hip hop in the early nine. I say the CDs got big in the you know, in the mid '90s to the 2000s CDs. But
I think CD was a more prominent and more, I don't want to say compact because it is, but it was a more, what's the word, accessible means of listening to the music. Oh, I
yeah,
got a car and it got a CD player. Boom. I ain't got a car and got the vinyl player. You get what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I know what
That's
you're
why I'm
saying.
thinking. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you know,
I
you
think
had tapes, you had cassettes at a point. You know, cassettes was big. You know,
exactly.
but
But B, think about it like this: when you play a classic like R&B song and your family member hear that, what you know about that? But if you
yeah,
play a B side off that album, they're not gonna say the same thing. But if you play that hit record,
but it depends on what album it is, because some albums have that impact of like that's when I feel like during the vinyl era, like I was saying, I feel like that was the era of the album because you wasn't really going up to your record player and skipping it.
true,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
So it's the CD era, I think going into the CD era, going to the digital era is when we start having, you know, this different relationship with music and people not actually listening to the album and just actually just, oh, I like this song on here. So I'm gonna take this song off, I'm gonna do this, boom, 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 blah, 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 blah. I'm skipping this, I'm skipping this, I'm skipping that. Um, but from that conversation, I think what Jadakiss and Common is just my example because of what Common has like albums, and Jada has just a full career of just all these different moments. And I think that you have artists that dropped a classic album and was nothing, and they didn't hold on to that steam of like, you know, having this dope career like a Jada. Jada never had a classic album, but I feel like he impacted hip hop in a way of being relevant, still being out, and still con- contributing on dope, putting out dope verses on other people's stuff, and just his contributions with his crew, the Locks. Then you think about all that, and I feel like with an album, you could put out a dope album, and then boom, nothing, and your career just goes down. It's people in the '90s be that got classic albums and one classic album, and then just out, they gone. So, and all this came from I didn't bring up where this conversation come from. It comes from Mad Slander. He had a top 10 list of like dope MCs, top 10 MCs with no classic albums. He had Andre on there, Andre Three Stacks. I wish I had the list on me, but it was amount of, you know, Jada was on there. And I was just thinking like a lot of these artists, especially Jada, I feel like him not having a classic album, he's still a legend. And I still would put him over people with classic albums because of he has a lot of contributions to hip hop. I'm just saying, even though I know you don't follow his catalog extensively or just very closely, but if you just look, Jada got crazy remix verses. Think about the moments where like what was that made you look? Like think of the 50 disc. Like think about all that D block. Like come on, bro, it's a lot. And I was just thinking about that. I'm like, bro, you could put out a classic album. Like Common got 3 classic albums, B. I'll be honest. I probably got Jada over him as a hip hop.
Ooh, I can't agree with that B, because
But
it
it's not
depends on what I'm
far.
judging
It's
them
not
based off of
far.
listing.
If
It
I
depends
if
on
I
how I'm
judge
judging them.
if look, I'm gonna go listen to B the album because I like that album. But if I think about the moments that I want to go and just listen to some freaking, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like Jada Kiss. I think he connects with me more. I
I
always had this
understand.
thing with Common's voice, even though he has 2 albums I adore. But Jada has verses I love. Jada have, come on, bro. The 50, even though Common has a dope diss to freaking Ice Cube, to bitching you, which is heat. He murdered Ice Cube. He killed him. But Jada has checkmate. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I'm not trying to say that um I'm not trying to say that since common classic albums don't mean anything. I hope nobody's saying hearing that. His albums do mean something. But I think we can't diminish Jada because I feel like that's a whole thing that people do all the time. He ain't got a classic. But I'm like, bro, he got so many classic verses, so many classic songs though. So I'm like, come on, man. It's just an album. It's just, oh, you never gave us that album though. It's kind of with Andre, bro. Like people, Andre gave us classics with Big Boy, Outkast, but he still gave us
But that's why
classics.
I never put Andre on the list by himself. That's why. Me personally, I'm
We
one of
have
those
this.
people.
I know we have this back and forth before about why I think Andre could be in top tens, and I don't care that he's in the group or not. Because he contributed so many dope verses, so many dope albums with Outkast. The
So what
features.
keeps? Would you put Big Boy in that top 10 as well?
No,
Why?
give me some features that Big Boy did. You like, damn. Besides International Players Anthem, like you just remember the Big Boy verse, and he
I like
stole the
going off.
show.
I like. See, the problem with Big Boy is that he has more quantity out there.
Ah, yes.
Andre, you
And then
can. Hey.
no.
Wait a second. Wait a goddamn second. Because that's the
What?
thing. To me, Big Boy is the same thing would have happened to Andre if he would have went the Big Boy route. He would have came out with the solo albums. People would have said they were good, but they ain't great. They ain't classic. Yada yada.
You don't know that though. It never
Andre comes out.
happened. We can't
Andre
do
comes.
that, B. We can't do that, B.
That's why I can do that because he hasn't done it. He hasn't proven me wrong. The
B,
evidence of
it's
absence is the absence of evidence.
no, I don't. I hate that. I hate that because look, it's people out here, bro, that they just put out. Look at Kanye run. What if Kanye just stayed a
Fire.
producer? What if he just stayed a producer? And we be like, oh yeah, But look, I'm just saying, Andre did what Andre wanted to do. Andre, the contributions he put into hip hop, the verses, the walk it out, bro. We can just name when he stole the show. Now I re-listened to Donda, some of the Donda, and that verse.
You put him top 10 all time? You put him top 10 all time?
As a rapper, as an MC,
No,
Andre
as
is
everything. Everything.
If I would put Andre could be in a top 10 MC list, in my opinion. He could be in there.
Okay. If you do just MC by itself, okay. Then okay.
No,
I can put Jada.
I would say
Jada
just
goes
the
higher.
artist over. Oh, if you go overall with all like with your sales and blah blah blah, Andre could be a top 10. I'm sorry, he could. He could be top 10. He could be top 5.
Top 10, dog. I'm not putting him in top 10.
Just because he don't got a solo album?
Yes.
He has a solo album, but I know it's under the Outkast umbrella.
And guess what? People want another solo album. When people talk about, oh, he doesn't have a solo album, and people bring that up, that don't count because that's an Outkast album. Yeah.
Bro, see, this is why we need to update these rules. We need to, bro, hip hop to be so punk and so rebellious. It's always make America great again.
Correct. Because
you don't have a solo, so you're not allowed in the country.
I didn't say that. But guess what? When we talk about solo albums, people are like, "Oh yeah, Big Boy speaker box though. That side though, woo!" Like people consider that better than Andre's solo side.
Hold up, you think that's better than Andre's solo side?
I think it's a lot more consistent. Yes.
Andre's side is more influential.
Correct.
He was more experimental, and he had the biggest track.
Hey. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right. He carried it. He carried that double disc, nigga. Look.
Stop. Like, look, when they wanted some rapping, whose side did they go to? Andre's a Big Boys. You left your panties at my house. Yeah, no.
Andre could be top 10, top 5, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
If we just talk about MC and alone, cool.
That's crazy.
Totality, I'm not doing it, B. I'm sorry.
B, but look, damn, I know this is a dead end hip hop comment. This conversation is going nowhere because I'm not gonna change your mind. You're not changing my mind. But think about it. Think about Aquemini, B. Think about Stankonia, your favorite Outkast album.
Fire.
Bro, think about ATLiens, B. These are classic hip hop albums that
with classic verses.
Andre 3000 and Outkast, and Big Boy put together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outkast together, a unit, amazing. Big Boy,
perfection.
A top 30, 20 rapper. You think you think you don't think Big Boy top 20, 2030? What?
You,
Look, you're
Andre,
laughing
top 10, maybe top 5. Big Boy is kind of more, maybe 30.
because B, you can't look. You can't allow. Look at this. If Big Boy B, listen, stop laughing. Let me tell B. Let me explain. So if Big Boy would have never put out those freaking solo albums, he could have been higher because we wouldn't know he put out that shit.
And because he wanted to rap a little more,
Yeah.
because he wanted to rap
stop
a little
rapping
more,
and then
we had to
feature
rank him lower.
B. My uncle's mom gave me those CDs, B. She brought me those CDs, B. I didn't have fun. I didn't have fun listening to those Big Boy albums. On my trips back from Dallas.
You know, like certain lips his left foot.
B, no. He should have took the Andre route. He probably would be higher. And he's a really dope rapper. But I'm just saying, Andre gave us more quality. And that's what happens. You give me.
That's what I'm saying. It's unfair.
It's not unfair. It's not unfair.
So like, I didn't make them goddamn album.
Life is not fair. I was born short. You know what I'm saying? Hey, life not fair, bro. Big Boy just got the shorter end of the stick. He should have put out them albums, B. Maybe he'll be in the same discussions as Andre. Maybe.
You tell me you don't consider Sir Lips's Left Foot a classic album, B?
No. No. And it's crazy. Big Boy's probably the only guy like that watched, not even say what, but beat like Andre on verses. You know what I'm saying? Because they rap together the most. But I don't know. I know a lot of people will disagree with me that Andre's not top 10 or top 5 or whatever. But I think he is. I'm sorry. It's just like it's not niggas rapping like him. Like this dude's insane. So I'm like, how do we ding him for that? When he gave us albums, they not him by himself, but they albums, they verses, they concepts. But he just had his guy with him. So B, that's like me. Look, me and you, look, we're beyond beats and culture, but you're Dark Sage. You got your own thing. They gonna be like, yo, you gotta stay on your own, T. You gotta go over there and do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? But they're like, yo, you got hits with beyond beats and culture, but you ain't got hits like the Dark Sage do on his channel. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta go make your own channel. But I'm like, I got hits on beyond beats and culture though.
They gonna say I carried you, B. They gonna say I carried you. The Dark Sage carried. The Dark Sage is a certified hit maker. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god. Say, so Andre carried Big Boy?
No. These of them got classes outside of each other. None of them got classes outside of each other.
Oh, look. Thinking about it, right? Damn, we just yapping about this. I don't know if we'll get to the other topics. But look, sticking to hip hop, sticking to classic albums, and sticking to groups. Wu-Tang Clan. Raekwon has how many classics out of Wu-Tang Clan?
1.
Cuban Links.
That's it.
Ghostface has Supreme Clientele.
Some people might say 2.
GZA. Yeah, GZA has Liquid Swords.
1.
Method Man has none.
Correct. Even though some people saying Tikal was a classic, and I'm just like,
yeah, Tikal is okay. It's a good album. Tikal's a good album. Blackout, but he's with Redman. Dope album as well. So, do you think those classic albums, those classic albums raise Raekwon and Ghostface up? Because I feel like GZA is not high on the list as a Ghostface and a Rail beat, and not looked at as, even though he has a classic album, right, with Liquid Swords. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm gonna be honest, B. This is when I talked about how some of the New York sounds and some of these albums. Liquid Swords is dope.
Mm-hmm.
I love that album.
I do as well.
But is it a classic really? They B. It's not be honest,
Cult classic. Cult classic.
it's not even talked about like freaking cute the purple tape, Supreme
But
Clientele,
this goes
Return
back
of
to one of our
36.
conversations, B. This goes back to it. How many classics is in hip hop? I was like, I said, because at this rate, we got over 100, 200. If we got to start dwindling it down, it's like, hey, there can only be 50 classic hip hop albums. Liquid Swords ain't in there.
So B, if Raekwon and Ghostface didn't have no classics, but they put out their solo efforts, would you put Ghostface and Raekwon over Andre because he has no solos? Just because they put their
Wait,
foot
you
out.
said they don't have.
But they hold up. Oh, matter of fact, let's put the classics in there. Who you got higher?
As what? Like, am I talking about
As an
totality or who's a
MC,
better
as a
rapper?
totality, as a rapper of catalog and
Oh,
everything.
Andre. Oh, wait, catalog too? I got to put Ghostface in there then.
You got to
I
put
can't.
Ghost over Andre.
I have to.
So
But I think Andre's a better rapper. I think Andre's a better
what
rapper.
would you put Andre in the top 50 list?
It's just MCs?
Overall totality, B. Just off the whim.
Do I include the Outcast stuff? Because
You include his whole catalog, everything he done.
if I have to include Outcast stuff, meaning like, okay.
Because with Ghostface, you're gonna, bro. If Ghostface didn't have Wu-Tang Clan catalog, let's be honest,
But
he
everybody
do.
has honestly say that he has a pretty good solo catalog outside of Wu-Tang though.
He does. He's still one of the only
In
older
fact, one of the
rappers.
better.
Yeah, I agree. But think about it, B. That Wu-Tang Clan affiliation and him being Wu-Tang, excuse me, is
It
also a
helped.
part of his catalog. It helped
Mhm.
more than anything,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Give me a list. I mean, where you will rank? Because look, I see. I know you having difficulties because you don't want to put Ghostface over Andre. And look, you don't want to do it, B. But you try to
But
stand on it.
if I'm talking about totality, I gotta put Ghostface over there because he has a solo
Put a number on
catalog.
it. Where would Ghostface sit? Because if you look, think about everything. What would Ghostface sit? Because you got Jay-Z number one. What would Ghostface sit? What his spot be?
20s, 30s.
20s, 30s.
If
What
I
would
had
Andre
to,
be? What would Andre be, B? He can't be in the 20s, B. He can't.
he might be in the 40s or 50s. Me, no solo album, no solo album, no solo album.
B. I don't believe this. I don't believe this.
If we're talking about, if I have to average it out, totality, everything, meaning solo catalog as well, he has no solo catalog. He has no solo catalog. Now, if you just said just off of, if I had to take the solo catalog out, maybe you could drop a few songs in there that they're on, yada yada. Obviously, Andre is higher, but because he doesn't have that solo catalog, I'm not putting him up that high. I'm not, because he's literally Mr. Potential Man. He's Mr. What If Man. We all clamoring for an Andre 3000 album because we ain't got one.
But B, that's on hip hop fans. That's not on him. That's why I'm trying to
And guess
understand.
what?
You
You're
gotta
right, and that's why I'm not knocking that against them. But I can't put him up higher than other people that tried.
just because they put out, all right. Raekwon is higher than Andre to you because he got one classic and he got a catalog. B, come on, dog. We gotta be honest, B.
I don't like this because it's like this, right? I love the Outcast stuff, so automatically I'm gonna put him higher. But if we're talking about totality with everything, Raekwon got Cuban links. Andre ain't got nothing by himself.
If at that point, Andre not even a top 50 hip hop artist on totality because he don't have a classic album.
Let's say he's in the 50s. He's in the 50s. Don't worry, Big Boy by himself is right behind him. But if I'm saying Outkast as a group, top one, and they not one, they zero. That's how good they are.
Man, that boy got Pusha T over freaking cut over Pusha T over Andre in the top overall hip hop
Overall,
rappers list. You
yes,
got Pusha
yes.
T. You got Malice over him because Malice got a solo catalog too.
Nah, that ain't have no impact, so that don't count. So no.
Nah, that's what you doing.
But see, it's the thing though. Miles ain't got no classic on his own, so no. Miles is above. I mean, Miles is below Andre.
B, if Andre put out 2 solo projects and they wasn't the best, they was just okay.
But was he best? But was he rapping?
I'm just saying he just put out albums. He did what he did. He just put out 2 solo albums. I don't know. It's hypothetical here. You will have him in a top 10 conversation just because he tried it solo. I don't think so. You will, if those albums just okay, we will push him back. I don't think the albums mean anything. We have to judge this man for what he gave us and not think about the solo albums because I think it's a pointless conversation.
But see, that's the hard part about me because I don't think it's fair for me to rate Andre so highly, but then Big Boy, he got to be left in the dust because he dropped some albums. Because if he didn't drop those albums, he only had some guest features. He'd be in the same tier as Andre.
No, Andre's a better rapper than Big Boy, bro.
I agree, but the way you making it seem, it's leagues. Like it's like he out of the stratosphere.
Because we also, if we add influence.
Okay, I agree. Okay, so now we doing the totality thing. We doing the totality thing.
Yeah, I'm saying he's gonna beat Big Boy, not sniffing
legacy.
him.
Let me add that legacy. We're adding the legacy.
That's what I meant by totality. I'm sorry, B. Andre is up there.
Talking just purely legacy. Yes, Andre is ranking higher than those guys that you just list, legacy wise. But you said totality, so I got to put solo catalog in there too. But if we just talking purely legacy, I agree with you. Just off of legacy, because legacy also includes your verses, includes your impact, your influence. It includes that. But we say in totality, B, it's like when you go to school, you got to total up the homework. You got to total up the in-class work. You got to total up the quizzes. You got to total up the tests. B, he missing the quizzes. But he got everything else, but his quizzes, he ain't got them. He ain't turned them in. But everything else, stellar performance. He could have been an honor roll student. That's what if potential man right there. He could have been on the honor roll.
I don't like you niggas, bro. What you want to say about Yeat?
Look, man, I was gonna make a short about it, but I'll make a quick little thing right here. Clip it up, maybe get some Yeat fans here. Yeat coming out with his album ADL this month, and I'm so excited for it. ADL is not just a dangerous lifestyle anymore. It's also a dangerous love. I pre-ordered the vinyl, saw that it was 4 LPs. It can either be 2 discs or it can just be a very long album. But he has also been working with Mike Rubin on this album. He says that he's going to win a Grammy for this album. Not promising anything, obviously, that he's going to win it. But Yeat is putting a lot into this. I even saw an ad yesterday for him doing some commercial spot for him doing, promoting his album. I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. And I heard the snippet. I'm like, all right, the snippet that was in the little commercial ad thing for the album that was promoting it. I'm like, it's sounding pretty fire. Now, if A Dangerous Summer was any indication of how this album is going to sound, it's going to be fire. But like I said, this album might be like a double disc type situation because if you pre-order the album, and like I said, the abbreviation for it is ADL. So it's not just A Dangerous Lifestyle like we thought. It's also A Dangerous Love. And on the album, it's a lenticular album cover. If you put it on one side, you see Yeat in the coffin and Yeat looking at himself in the funeral stand. But if you turn it the other way, you see a bride right in front of the coffin. So I'm like, okay, where are we going with this? Some of the themes, some of the topics that you touched upon on A Dangerous Summer that were fun. I liked it. But the problem is I like Yeat when he's in short bursts. I don't like him full-length project-wise because it gets drawn out after a time. But because he is working with an esteemed producer like Michael Rubin, we got to see where this goes. I'm very excited for it. It's coming out this month. Like I said, Yeat is literally the king of R farming within this generation of music and hip hop right now. He doesn't really go out much and say much. He doesn't do interviews or anything like that. So for me to see a commercial of what he was doing and kind of being a bit goofy with it, very on the nose, I'm like, this is telling because that means that he really believes in this album because he hasn't done something like this for another album besides maybe Lifestyle, but Lifestyle is kind of disappointing. So yeah.
For you yeeters out there, I'll check it out. But I'll check it out. We had more on the docket to talk about, but we did yap about. We just yapped about classic albums. Andre 3000. Is he top 10, top 5, dead or alive?
Legacy
B is
wise,
it,
yes.
but B, before we go, is there anything you've been listening to, bro? That you want to share with the people? And
Not a goddamn thing besides 88 Glam. I
going
miss him,
back.
B. I miss him, B. I hate that they
Yeah.
broke up, but it was for the best because their last project was definitely a bit of a dud.
Yeah.
And you can see that the writing was on the wall. And this felt like a compilation rather than an actual body of work. And so, yeah, I'm sad about that. I'm also was remembering that maybe The Weeknd has one of the weakest labels within hip hop. Belly, Nav, 88 Glam. What did any of these guys do besides Nav? Belly did some writing, but besides, I'm talking about off of their solo catalogs.
Yeah, not much impact.
I know, which is sad, but I really did like these guys during the SoundCloud era. So yeah, that's my thing. B, what have you been listening to?
Little jazz, but one album I want to highlight that I probably will not probably I will be review coming soon on a short. Or maybe I might do my first solo full length review. Who knows? Slideshow's Tigray Funk. Man, a fire album. I really enjoy it. I don't want him to listen to it. Don't ever listen to the album. Cause I promise you, if you disrespect it, I don't know what I'll do. Hey, I'm gatekeeping this album away from this man. Do not listen to this album.
Keep it great again.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to publish my full thoughts, but really, really, really dope album. One of my album of the year contenders. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in my top 10. But yeah, man, we are waiting on some bigger releases or some albums that we rarely listen to actually review because I feel like we was going on a high beat. We had Baby King, we had J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? Bringing the discourse back into hip hop about focusing on the music. But right now we down, a little light in March, So we'll see if we got Yeet coming. So we both can talk about that album. I don't know. I'm here. I listen to it. Because I like the last joint he dropped. That joint was heat. So, but yeah.
Yes, sir. But yeah. B, any closing thoughts before we head off?
Andre, man, your top 5 dead or alive. I will always remember your Walk It Out verse. I will always remember your Sorry verse on T.I.'s Trouble Man album. Your verse on Donda. Your verse on Channel. Hey, your verse on Channel Orange. Your verse on throw some D's on it remix. You know what I'm saying? Andre, I don't know what I can't say this word. Your contributions to hip hop is very, very, very adored on this side of the screen. This so-called Southern biased guy here, he don't love you like I do, man.
Hey, I adored it as well, but when we come to the list, we gotta be even keeled.
People don't be like, oh man, Cuban Links. If you talk about the Cuban Links, you gotta bring up Ghostface. Yeah,
you do.
All right.
But
do Raycon really got a classic? Do he actually got a solo classic? Yeah, that's why I ended. He don't, cause Ghostface on that joint too, ripping it. Kate, yeah, all right. Yeah.
You know what? Are we taking that away from Raekwon?
Hey,
is that a collab album? Hey, that means that a written testimony can never be in these conversations. Because I just listened to that A Reasonable Drought.
What you think about Reason? You listen to Reasonable Drought and tell me?
Because he's going to be at the concert too. That's why my homie that invited me to it, he wanted to go to the concert because
he's gonna be there.
Yeah, and so he said you need to listen.
What do you think about the album?
I liked it more than I thought, and to me, it's a bag that I didn't think Rocky Marciano was gonna get in. I didn't necessarily need the drums because I think Stove God is very charismatic and very personality driven within his raps. I think he raps well as well. But the thing is, I'm like, okay, you obviously ain't gonna make another album with Rock because y'all kind of got a little tiff between each other. But it did remind me of Rock, but he also was going over Rock production as well. So I'm just like, dang, I kind of want a Rock album like this now. It was like this reason the drought was kind of fire.
We go, man. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Any closing
That's been
statements for yourself, B? You ain't got nothing?
oh, closing statement. I've been playing Ghost of Yote. Shout out to the Oni. I just chopped his head off. That was a fire moment in the game. Hey,
I
women's
would.
empowerment. I'm supporting women.
Hey, Women Empowerment Month, but yo, I will not play that game at all.
Why not?
I play Ghost of Tsushima. Same shit. Different skin.
The Sony Walking Simulator 2.0? Is that what you saying, B?
Hey, B. Just how that Wolverine game about to be.
All right, man. This been
Hey,
this
B. B. When y'all play it, he been gonna be shooting out webs. They like, oh, we got a patch. We got a patch.
Put the mic down, god dang it. This segment, put the mic down, dedicated to you. Put the goddamn mic down. Right, goddamn down. Now I know how you felt about my Andre slander earlier. You're being very slanderous right now for no good reason. God dang it. Insomniac won't do you like that.
They gonna do you like that, B?
Oh, no. What did PVH from Game of Luna say? Oh, the new game the Naughty Dog's working on just lost. It's just Naughty Dog and Uncharted lost his face. Like, oh,
Yes, bro. Freaking the same game over and over, bro. God dang. Different skins, B. That's it.
Hey, Uncharted might have been the downfall of Sony exclusives, but that's a topic for another day, for another show.
Yes, sir. But hey, man.
Oh, go ahead, B.
I was just saying, man, we gonna piece it out. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's been it for another episode. I'm Chasing Dark Sage.
I'm T. Peace.
Peace.